Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. This movie came out in 2008, and you know what? I'm going to say it. I like this movie. I know a lot of people, this movie is kind of like, the redheaded stepchild of the Mummy franchise. For me, I think it's a lot of fun. I think this movie is one of those kind of Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at The Mummy. Oh man, this still is wrong. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at The Mummy. Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. This movie came out in 2008, and unpopular opinion, I know, big shock. I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. It was fun for me in 2008. In 2007, actually, I remember watching this sort of really boring cast interview because they were in China. They were filming, and Brendan Fraser was like, really friendly. And he was answering all the questions, and he was having a good time with it. And I remember his segment specifically because I just remember thinking, oh man, I cannot wait to see Brendan Fraser back in the role of Rick O'Connell. I'm really hyped to see this guy as my favorite action movie hero again. And in 2007, 2008, like, I think him and Indiana Jones were, for me, the two best action heroes of the time. And then you had Maria Bello talking about her Evie and how her Evie is different because she's more karate, and it was just kind of like this weird little oh, okay, sure. And Rob Cohen, the director, he was like, I just want someone who's really hot. That's your contribution. I'm sure there was more that went into it. He tried to elaborate on it and make it sound a little bit better. um it just really missed the mark because, in my opinion, although Maria Bello, we're going to start with Maria Bello. Although Maria Bello is good in the role of Evie, it feels like watching this with Brendan Fraser as Rick. It's like Rick and Evie got separated, and then he just started dating another chick named Evie. Like that's kind of what it feels like. It's just I that is one of the biggest aspects of this movie that just it doesn't work for me personally. I don't know. Like, maybe there's somebody out there that really likes her, Maria Bello, as um, Evie, but I'm not one of them. I think that was a big misstep on the side of Universal. Um, I think Universal really this feels kind of like a cash grab movie, and that's fine because I shelled it out. I think I saw that and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like a lot in theaters. I was working out at the summer camp at the time, and I was feeling very adventurous the summer of 2008 because, I mean, like I said, we had Indiana Jones 4 and The Mummy 3 come out in the same year. This guy right here, man, I was like reading up on history. I was like, you guys want me to jump off this and into that? I'm on it, man. Like I was I was too much. I was a little extra. And that I'm fine with it being a bit of a cash grab, but if you're going to be a cash grab, you got to be a good cash grab. And overall, we've seen, because now it's been well over 10 years, and the only Mummy movie we got was one with Tom Cruise for a failed dark universe. And listen, Universal, I need you to look at me, okay? As a fan of some of your monster movies, um, you guys need to patch things up with Steven Summers. You need to look over at your boy Brendan Fraser and say, hey man, come back over here. We've got cash, and we got good gym equipment and good food. So come on back. Let's make some more Mummy movies. And then Brendan Fraser, if you watch this, I'd like to see a big giant heck yeah, I'm on it. And make a fourth Mummy movie, maybe a fifth. I mean, I want to go a little high and say 6 movies, and they all better be good. Commercially successful. Uh, that's what I would personally, as a fan, like to see. I think Universal, they had something really good with those first two, and they knew it. And then they let him, they let Stephen Summers take over the reins of his own thing that he's wanting to try to do in the form of Van Helsing. And they had something there with Van Helsing and the Mummy. They just need to bring it together, and they just couldn't bring it together for some reason. But that should have been the easiest crossover of all time, and it should have been the biggest and most fun and most action-packed and epic that we probably could have gotten, at least for the time that it should have come out in. So, Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. So, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I watch this movie, the biggest thing that pulls me out of it is the Yeti. The abominable snowman scene. And the reason why that part pulls me out more than any other scene in the whole movie, and trust me, there's probably more than one that should pull me out, but this one does it the best. And let me tell you why. You have a tremendous action sequence going into the Yeti scene. A really great action sequence. You have the O'Connells sort of on the ropes. You got them, they're on their last, leg. They don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden the Yetis show up. Yetis show up out of nowhere, and bam, they're saved. And it's just, it kind of cheapens the action and the weight of the scene that was happening and transpiring. I felt like there could have been a better way out of that situation had they taken like an extra day or two to write that scene out. Because think about it, you take out the Yeti and you just have Alex O'Connell finding that general dude, maybe to a standstill or to the point to where Jonathan's able to blow up the temple, and maybe instead of Alex that Rick saves, it's Jonathan that he saves. And, then you can still have the avalanche break up the whole fight. There's ways that whole scene could have been better and more tense than involving the Yeti. That, to me, I really don't like the Yeti scene. That is my biggest pet peeve of the whole movie, is the Yetis. Because I like everything else going into that action scene. Everything else going into that action scene is fun, it's exciting, it's nail-biting stuff, and I like it. I also, I don't like the... upon rewatching it, there's another part in there that I kind of don't like, and that's where Alex is talking to his mom, and she says, oh, you've had relations with other women? Like, how many? Oh, you know what? I'm never asking my children that. I would never. I would want to raise them right with good morals, and never ask that, ever. That's weird. And then I would hope that if the writers have children, they would acknowledge that. Well, obviously, maybe they... I don't know. It's just a weird scene, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for a mom to ask that question, I think. Leave your comments below. Let me know. I mean, are you cool having those conversations with your mom and or dad or both? Ugh, it's weird. So, anyway, that's another thing that kind of got me. I was like, nah, I don't like that. So, guys, listen. Before I forget, I just had this epiphany, just this thought just now. When you bring back the original cast from a franchise and you put them in a new movie, and this new movie is a few years after your other one, because the Mummy 2, Mummy Returns, came out in like 2002. This one is 2008. This is a large gap sequel. Large gap sequels always are not great for some reason. They just always kind of miss the mark in some way or form or fashion. So Brendan Fraser brought his A game. He was excited to be back. He was having a good time. And Rick O'Connell, that is Rick O'Connell. But it's Rick O'Connell in a movie where nobody else seems to really be trying. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan too, right? The guy who, I forget the guy who plays Jonathan, but he's also trying in some scenes. Other scenes, it's just kind of like he's phoning it in some other parts. Um, the guy who plays the grown-up Alex is not always convincing as Alex. And we already went over Maria Bello. And something about this, it feels kind of like I said earlier, like a cash grab. And that's the problem is like this, like Brendan Fraser, he's there. He's having a good time. He's, fighting the mummies. He's doing everything he needs to be doing right. It's everything else around him that kind of just makes the movie not work so well in some aspects. The scene where he wakes up and he's got the scar and everything, and he's remembering kind of like what happened and how they got there. That scene was really good. It was effective, but something about it still felt like it was missing something. But I feel like if you would have been able to bring back, Rachel Weisz and a British kid, keeping continuity with Alex, you would have had a better scene. You would have had a really good scene. The third act action sequence, and some parts felt a little cheap, like the budget was running a little low for the movie. But it's not bad. It's still fun. It's still exciting. It's still exhilarating, especially when you're, go from the big, large scale fight scene out on the battlefield to the smaller fights with Evie and that other chick, and the two bad guys, and then Alex and Rick and the Dragon Emperor. When you're able to have those two scenes, playing out, and those two fight scenes playing out, it's exciting, it's action packed, it's kind of nail biting at points. But when they're all out and they're all racing to the Great Wall, some aspects of that feel a little bit like, oh hey, budget's running out of money, like we're running a little over, and those scenes kind of stick out. But once again, it doesn't take me out of the movie like the Yeti scene. I still have fun with the movie at that point. I'm still having fun with it, and I'm still enjoying it. Jet Li as the Mummy. Can we just give that guy a round of applause for how great of a mummy he actually is? He is menacing, he is violent, and he is gruesome. He is a no-hold-bar mummy. Like you had Emotep in the first two. He would just kind of chunk, Rick O'Connell around. No biggie, no problem. No. Not with this one. He stabs Rick. And then he proceeds to beat him with all that, karate chop action. And it's, I mean, he's a mean dude. He is a bad dude. He's real cool. He's a really good bad guy, a really good mean mummy bad guy. And there are actual points in this film, in my opinion, to this day, when I'm watching it, I'm like, man, I don't know if Rick's going to make it out of this fight. I think he's going to die again. Even though I've seen this movie 100 times, I know better. But it's just, that's how intense and good it is. Rob Cohen directing. The guy gave us Fast and Furious, one of the most fun movies of all time that's now spawned a gazillion and one sequels. And he's given us some other good stuff too that escape me right now, but I'm seeing a poster for one, but I can't remember the name of the movie. So anywho, Rob Cohen directing this was a bad move. Another reason why this movie feels a bit like a cash grab. The magic and the allure of the first two it's not really there. It's like he tried to take the fun, swashbuckling action things that we like about the first two and kind of bring them down to a little bit more of a grounded, serious level. And that's not really where this franchise is supposed to be, Like, no. You can still, I feel like if Steven Summers and crew would have come back for this one, maybe kept the same ideas and concepts going, you could have had a really fun third movie. And then we would have definitely gotten The Mummy, Rise of the Aztec, which, listen, Universal, let me talk to you guys one more time. So, Universal, look at me. Look at me, my eyeballs here. Are we looking at each other? All right, good deal. So, I want a fourth Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser, and I want it to happen in the Aztec area of Mexico. Okay? So, let's make that a thing. I want to see it. I want to see. I want to see. I prefer Rachel Weisz as Evie. Okay, I prefer that. And then now the kid who played Alex in Mummy Returns is old enough. Just bring him back to play Alex, and let's have this. Let's make this a thing. Let's have it happen. And then I've got a whole thing like Dwayne Johnson, dude. I know you're watching. Like I know you're subscribed, so I know you're watching. um, Listen, dude, I heard you wanted to reboot the Scorpion King franchise, which is, I mean, sure, why not? But how about this? You do a Mummy movie instead called The Mummy: Wrath of the Scorpion King, right? Yeah, yeah. Shoot me an email or something, man. Let's iron out those deets. I've got it all planned out, man. I get bored at work a lot, guys. So anyway, Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Bit of a missed potential, bit of a rough watch, kind of a hard one to swallow. You could argue, it put the nail in the coffin for the Mummy franchise. Or, honestly, it was a Tom Cruise movie. That one, terrible. That's that review for that. I still like it. I still think it's one of those movies that works in the ways that it kind of needs to work. And it is still fun. It doesn't have all the magic of the first two, but it is still a good time and it is still exciting to watch. Comment below, guys. Let me know what you think. If you haven't yet, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.